Hey everyone, welcome to Smash That Small Paper Pad collaboration. I host this collab for 2021 and the idea is to pick a paper pad smaller than a 12 by 12. It can be 8.5 by 11, it can be 6 by 6, 8 by 8, 4.5 by 6.5, you know, all those different ones under 12 inches. So this month I picked this one, La Petite Jardin. It says it's 2018 Stephanie Ryan, courtesy of MHS Licensing, made in China. 24 double-sided papers. I don't remember where I got this. I'm pretty sure it was online. It's Couture Creations. I don't know. I know I got it online, and I got the matching die cut ephemera. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but here's all the pieces. There's, what did it say? 36 pieces. I think I used about half of them already. And I cut into 12 of the 24 double-sided papers. And I made that many cards, 12, but I still have quite a few strips, roughly this size. Some of them are smaller, and also I saved the pieces that came off the top of the paper because they all have a pattern on it. I don't know if I'll end up using them or not. So I'm thinking that I will have next month to cut into all the rest of these sheets, and then probably the third month, so that would be May, June, we'll be finishing up using the scraps. We'll see how I do. I have a lot going on next month, in the month of May, so I don't think I'll be able to finish it, but we'll see. So let me show you. I made 12 cards, I think. Well, we'll count them as we go. The first two are the same, pretty much. Oops, well, it helps if I put them the right side up. And these, I actually used a card sketch, but I did not use a card sketch for any of the other ones. And the one I used was MFT. These are my favorite things. WSC. I guess that stands for, I don't know what the W is, but Sketch 73. Okay, and I'm guessing you can find them on mftstamps.com because that's what it says here. I was looking for something because I wanted to use the ephemera. Anyway, that was what I started with to get me started, because when I opened this paper pad, I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, uh-oh, what I've gotten myself into. And anyway, then I came across these two, which weren't some of the ones I was originally going to use. What I did is what got me started is I separated out all the ephemera, and even they have done that. Like, these are all a different type of flower than the ones up here, and they're sort of a little bit different color. So I separated them out, and my goal was to use them all up, and I think I used all but like maybe either this one or this one, I forget which, but I used all the other ones. And then I did use a couple of these. I think I used both squares and this one. And I did use this. I did use these purple flowers. I used a couple of these flowers. I used one tag, and I used one of these border strips. So I used quite a bit. But the whole point I'm trying to get at is, this is what got me going, was sorting these. And then I thought, well, let me look for paper that goes with them, and that's what I did. So these are two different sheets of paper, the same paper. And then the other thing is, I went and I pulled out all the Stampin' Up! Cardstocks and inks that I thought went with it. This is Blackberry Bliss by Stampin' Up!, the cardstock, and this strip here. And same on this. These are pretty much identical. This is an embossing folder by Stampin' Up! It is called Greenery, and it has two embossing folders. So Greenery number 1 is what I'm calling it. 152716 is the number, and I used that, and it's just going sideways. So that pattern is there's a piece of some paper underneath that. Then you put that strip down, and then this goes down. But I bumped this up. Now, I say that, and when I did it, I am trying to use up other stuff in my stash too. So I have this container of non-Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, I'll call them. These are called Sticky Doos. They're from Paper Studio. Oh my word, they are so thick. They are like, it bumps it up a little higher than what I'm used to. Can you see them? They're 1/8 inch thick, which they're just really thick. I just had no idea, but I used them on these two, and then I switched. I found some other things, and so I used that many because these were new. I think I used something else on the next card. These were some of the die cuts from that pack, and then these are the holiday rhinestones from Stampin' Up! And they're in the Coastal Cabana color, because I sort of thought some of the colors in here were like Coastal Cabana. And Garden Green is this color back here. And then I stamped, oh, all the sentiments are using this stamp set. Some I use Thinking of You, some Happy Birthday, and some Thank You. This is in Stampin' Up's January to June 2021 mini catalog on page 28. It's number 154507, and it's retiring at the end of June or before if it sells out. So I really like this stamp set. I like the font. They're a nice size, as you can see. Now my ink pad apparently needs to be re-inked, and it's got some innie sentiments. Now I didn't end up using those, but I did use these 3 sentiments from it. And at some point I use some dies, and I'll go over them when I get into that. And then on the inside I just used Stampin' Up's white and some of the die cut pieces, different ones. So that is the first 2 cards, and then like I said, the next 2 I didn't, sorry for reaching, I didn't use, I lost my train of thought, I'm sorry. Anyway, so this is a similar piece of paper, these next 2, but they're not the same as the other one. They're similar, but not quite. The flowers are slightly different. Like this one has more of these kind of flowers on it than this one did. So it's a little bit different. So I started with this one, and my starting point was this. And see, it has those flowers with the big centers. And I stamped Happy Birthday in my ink. I was so mad. My ink, these are red rubber stamps, so it must be my ink pad, because I even held it down on there for a bit. It's a little bit light, excuse me. Okay, so what I did, this is also on Blackberry Bliss, because that is the closest thing I had to that color there. And then this looks like Garden Green to me, so I had a strip of Garden Green. And then this ribbon is Blackberry Bliss. It's in the Stampin' Up! January to June mini catalog as part of the Ice Cream Corner suite. It's item 154569 if you're interested. I love this ribbon. It is a Blackberry Bliss striped ribbon, but it's very soft and flexible. Unfortunately, at the end of June, it is retiring. So I used that over top the Garden Green, and then this is bumped up, but then I went searching, like I said, and I found I had bought these 2 packs of white foam squares, double-sided, on clearance for $1.48 somewhere. I think they might have been Target, but they could have been Walmart. I don't know. I can't remember. It says was $2.99, now $1.48. And when I first saw them, this is what peeked through the window, so I thought they were all little ones. So I started using the little ones, and then I realized the second sheet in there is the medium-sized. I used an awful lot of the medium-sized and some of the small too. And that's what I use for the rest of the cards wherever I bumped anything up, I believe. And it's not quite as high up as those other ones. See, it's like, I think they must be like a 1/16 of an inch or something. So this is bumped up, and then this is just glued on, and that one I just used a piece of the paper inside. And I think, so this one I didn't have that another oval like that, but I had some scrap garden green cardstock. This was it, and I ran it through that same greenery embossing folder. I had this huge spray, but without that greenery thing, the garden green under there, it would have been too much against the background paper. I did wrap the ribbon around, and then here I used a retired punch called the Starburst Punch by Stampin' Up. It's no longer available. It retired in 2020. And then I used the 2-inch circle punch, which is retiring May 3rd. So I don't know if it's still available, but that is the item code 133782 if you need a 2-inch circle punch. And then I used the Thinking of You, and I stamped it in garden green. And then inside, again, I just put a strip of the paper on Stampin' Up's white cardstock. So those are the next two. And then I didn't put any bling on those. I don't know why. Then the next one, this piece of paper, well, this is one of the strips from those first papers, the ones I just finished showing you. And this tag had that same flower on it, so that was my starting point. And then this paper, I had, I had pulled out to use, but I was going to use the other side, and I had to get the rest of the glue stuff off. I didn't like it. I couldn't figure out what to do with it, so I flipped it over and I used this side, and I thought that went really well with Old Olive. This is Old Olive by Stampin' Up. I initially thought Balmy Blue and Coastal Cabana. Balmy Blue does coordinate with this. Coastal Cabana, maybe not so much, and maybe closer to Pool Party or Soft Sea Foam or something. I don't know. But it did not look right with Coastal Cabana. I tried it. And then I stamped Thank You in garden green. And this is bumped up on dimensionals, but nothing else is. And then these again are the holiday rhinestones in Coastal Cabana, because the rhinestones are a little lighter. And then inside I put another piece of the paper, and then also a piece of ephemera that matched those flowers on the front. I think I really like that inside on that one. Okay, so then the next one, this was another sheet of paper. I don't remember what was on the other side, sorry. I had this big piece of ephemera, and I thought the dark green in it matched the dark green in these leaves really well. So I put it on Blackberry Bliss. It does have Blackberry Bliss type color in it. So I brought that out in the background, and then I stamped Thank You in Blackberry Bliss, and I backed it on Blackberry Bliss. So I think this is 5 1/4 by 4. I'm pretty sure this was 3 1/2. So this, or 3, and then this is 3 1/4 in the Blackberry Bliss. And then this is Mossy Meadow braided linen trim. It is in the Dandy Garden suite of the 2021 January to June mini catalog, and it is also retiring. It is number 154298. That's retiring at the end of June or while supplies last. Mossy Meadow braided linen trim. And this is bumped up on dimensionals, but the sentiment is actually glued down. And then inside I just put a strip of the paper. And I think that looks classy. I think most of these look classy so far. So the next one I went, okay, so what happened was I was originally going to have this one going in this direction, but I had cut the paper going in a vertical instead of a landscape. So I had to cut the second sheet of paper to go landscape, and then I still had this one to use, so we had to go vertical on this one. And why do I have glue there? That's so bizarre. I don't know. I got it though. Huh. Weirdness. Okay, so I had a scrap of Blackberry Bliss and this flower, and so it fit perfectly. So I thought, okay, I want to use that. What else am I going to do? So I brought in Stampin' Up's rectangular postage stamp punch, and then I just went to see which of those sentiments I had would fit on there, and Thinking of You fit best, so I stamped that in Garden Green. This is that Blackberry Bliss striped ribbon again to kind of tie it all together. Because originally I was thinking of having this go this way, but I couldn't find any sentiments that would fit that were nice and big like that, but still fit in that direction. So I made it go the other way. And then these little gems are retiring also. They are these clear with gold in, called Wonderful Gems. They were in the current annual catalog, so they're going away as of May 3rd. I believe they carried over from last year's holiday catalog, and this is red. I want to say real red with the gold in it too. So yeah, I have a little bin that's retiring or retired. I'm trying to use them up. So I put the two that had a lot of gold in on the Blackberry Bliss, and this one doesn't have as much gold in, so I stuck it up on the green, and inside just a piece of the paper again. So that's that one. Oh, sorry, now I'm getting, okay, so these next two are the same. Totally, okay, so I was kind of getting stuck with one piece of paper. I don't think I have any more left of it now. It's the one that had, I think that had the stripes on it. Let me see what the other side of that is, because I think that's the one that was giving me trouble. Nope. Nope. One of these was giving me trouble. I was going to use it, and then I just couldn't figure out what to do. I can't, it was this one. Yeah, it was the stripe one. So I ended up using the stripe again. I used the stripe before, but I was planning on using this. I just couldn't. I couldn't make it work. It didn't designs that were coming to my head. So, so initially I went, that was like my last sheet of paper to use that I had pulled. So I went back to the paper pad and I said, okay, I need more color. I need to get more done with this paper pad this month. So I pulled out this one that had more subtle colors instead of regal colors like the other ones. So this is Balmy Blue, which I thought went good with this. I have, oh, fuzzies or glue or something all over my fingers, and my nails breaking. Anyway, too much information. And this is Highland Heather here, this purple. And then this ribbon, oh goodness, I forgot to leave that out, is retiring also. It's the tricolor ribbon in the current annual, number 149708. It has Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and Purple Posy. Purple Posy being a color that is retiring. Here's where I use those two little purple ephemeras, and then these dies are from the Stitch So Sweetly dies. It's this larger one here I did in the Balmy Blue, and then the second inner one here is what I used in the white, and I stamped in Highland Heather with the Happy Birthday. I did bump them up on dimensionals. Actually, the blue I ran through the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder by Stampin' Up. Great embossing folder. That is continuing. so you don't have to worry about it going away, but it's item 152718, and it gives sort of similar to what the subtle embossing folder had been, but more textile. Like, I don't know, you're not going to be able to see it probably. Oh, there. Well, maybe. My camera does not like. There we go. Close up. And then that's up on those Scotch foam dots. And then inside, I used a strip of the paper on both of them with Highland Heather and white. So that's those two. They're the same. And then I pulled out 2 other sheets of paper because I still wasn't feeling that other one. And these, I did this one first. This is one of the ephemera pieces. Actually, so is this. And so are these. So this is on Costa Cabana because I thought this paper went better with Costa Cabana, but the blue I thought originally was purple, but it's actually a blue, and I thought Misty Moonlight from Stampin' Up! Went well with it. So I stamped Happy Birthday slightly crooked in Misty Moonlight. This is Misty Moonlight ribbon retiring, and these are Misty Moonlight enamel dots. Now these are retiring, but there is another set coming because we have Misty Moonlight staying with us for another year at Stampin' Up. And this is bumped up on dimensionals, and this flower is partly glued and partly on those they're Scotch white foam squares, excuse me. And then inside, oh, this is where I used one of those border strips, because that is the same flower that's in these backgrounds. So I put one piece there, one part of it there. This is a fake bow, by the way, as is this one, which is popping up. Oh, goodness me. I'll have to tack that down. And the other one wasn't quite long enough, but it's okay. I had to glue it where it was cut from the other one. I thought that came out okay, though, right? And the thank you is on a die. This die, these are out of the Hippo and Friends dies. They're in the current annual, and they are continuing. They're number 153585. There is a stamp set, which right now, up until April 3rd, is I think a bundle. I don't know that it's bundled in the new catalog. I doubt it. So if you want that and you want the stamp set to go with it, I don't have that. I didn't get the stamp set, which is unusual for me, but I just wanted those shaped dies. And so I glued that onto here, and then this piece of ephemera is bumped up after I put the ribbon around. And yeah, that's about it. Okay, so that's those two. And then the last card I have is this one, and this is using that piece that I just had to do something with to make me use 12 pieces of paper. Oh, it still has a little piece of border. So that was a 6-inch piece of paper cut to 5 1/4 by 4. This might not have been the right one, it might be one of these other pieces, but you get the idea. It was 6 inches. Cut it to 5 1/4, cut the other side to 4. And I used this stripe again, and then this, I don't remember which piece that was, but I had, I was trying to figure out what to put behind this, and I wanted to use this square, so I backed it on Balmy Blue, which again is that sort of that color. But I had a piece of paper that had that Blackberry Bliss on the back, because I was playing around with putting flowers there and stuff, and it was too much flowers with the other. Here it is. So it, yeah, I had a bigger piece of this, and I was playing with that because that matched this border on here, but it just didn't look right. So I flipped it over, and that was on there. So that's what I used. And then I had one of these. There was only one of those in that whole pack. and I used it on here. And stamped Thinking of You. Sorry. Yeah, see, it was that flower right there. The only one like it. And in Blackberry Bliss. And then that's pretty much it. And inside I just put another piece of the straight paper. And that's on Old Olive, if I didn't mention that. What did I get on there? So I think that is 12 cards. Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, oh my goodness, 11 and 12. We'll put them on top of each other. Yep, 12 cards. There we have it. So I hope you enjoyed this month, and come back and see. I don't know if I'll make cards again, probably. I had another idea too, but I just didn't get to it. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that other idea first, and then once I get that done, make cards, or the other way around. I don't know. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to check out the other collab participants. I apologize again for this video being long, but I did want to show you what I did and what I used, and I hope you enjoyed it. So go check everyone else out, and I will see you next month on the 25th, 10 a.m. Eastern, with Smash Our Small Paper Pads, trying to use them up. I'll be doing this for 10 years to use up everything I have. Whimper, whimper, cry, cry. If you're in the same boat, consider playing along with us. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Hugs, love, and peace.